what's the purpose of this mission trip? You've got the ministry you explained to us, and we're doing a mission trip. Why do y'all integrate that into the 9-month program?
Yeah, so we'll go back a little bit. So less than 1% of American missionaries are African American. Less than 1%. And
Man, you give me chill bumps again. I'm
I know.
serious. Come on, look.
So,
to think if one of these guys
yeah,
could end up
yeah.
doing missions or ministry. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. That's awesome.
And so our church saw the need to have men, especially black men, have a vision for God's church globally. And so we thought a mission trip would be very, very beneficial, but also they get to see poverty in another level that they've never seen before. Because a lot of times our guys, I mean, we don't do this on purpose. A lot of our guys come up from fatherless homes. They come up in backgrounds where you can really have a victim mentality. And when you see God working globally, it's kind of hard to say that my life is that bad. I can't really, can't have that victim mentality when somebody's living in a shack or a tent and they're the happiest, most joy-filled people you've ever met in your life. And it's like, it really does something to you to see God work through that.
And in my experience, we're going to see this happen.
Yeah.
By the way, how many of the 8 guys have been on a mission trip before, or out of the country on a mission trip?
One.
Okay.
Yeah.
We find this every single time. The first day or so, when we go on a mission trip, everybody's thinking, man, I didn't realize how good we had it.
Yeah.
And then somewhere there's a hinge, or we start thinking, wait a minute, maybe I don't have it quite as good as I think, because you hit on this. The joy, the contentment, the peace that we see in the people that have very little.
Yeah.
And where that balance is, I don't know. But we certainly see that all the time. Okay, I get it. It's for God's glory.
Yeah.
But sometimes when we get an accolade or a highlight in our life, God can use that for His glory. So tell us about, is it 20 for 40? Come on, I keep lashing on to that. But listen, I'm going to ask you what it is. And then how does that encourage the other men in the program? I think I know. Isn't it 20 for 40?
The 20 under 40?
20 under 40, yes. That's right. Tell us 20 under 40. And I asked this, by the way, and so thanks for sharing it. Tell him what that is.
Yeah, well, that was from high school.
Okay.
But so Rome, Georgia, where I'm from, they take 40 individuals under the age of, or 20 individuals under the age of 40 that I guess in their eyes are bound to be successful in some way, somehow. Back then, I guess God was already working in me, and
It's all right.
yeah, I made it on that list, and I got nominated at 17 years old to be on that list. And it's cool looking back at it now, but I guess it's encouraging just to see that there's, I guess, always been some type of leadership on me, and I was not walking it out for years after that accolade, and now that I am, and I can look back and like, man, like that really was, I guess, prophetic in a way.
And two, what does that say to the young men in this program? You talked about some of the backgrounds and things like that. I think I know. How would that encourage them to know something like that?
Yeah, I think one is knowing that, I guess having trust that, well, I don't know. I have to think about that. I mean, I think it encourages guys to know that they have just as much of ability in Christ to be able to accomplish goals and to be leaders.
Okay.
I mean, if you know anything about Rome, Georgia is not full of a lot of African American men. So, I mean, yeah. So if I feel like if I can earn something like that, cause I'm nobody special. I think our guys can see that God can use them in magnificent ways as well.
You know, John Maxwell talks about leadership principles, and just listening to you talk, there's something called the law of the lid, which basically means with the organization, if the leadership's a 5, it's hard for people to come up around and over that 5.
Okay.
And truly, with something like that leadership ability, again, it's for God's glory, but it's basically saying the leadership of this ministry is high and allows other men to kind of come up. In other words, it's not a cap on that, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
Every trip as a leader, I'm sure there's one thing you'd love to see accomplished.
Yeah.
If you had to think, what is one thing that you would love to see as a result of this trip, what would that be?
I mean, I would love to see God really open the eyes and the hearts of our men. Not only to just make an impact there, but ultimately what I want to see is they take what God does in them and brings it back to this community. Brings it back to Fairfield, bring it back to wherever God leads them, that this mission trip will completely change them for the rest of their lives, that they'll be transformed, as Paul says. And so that's my ultimate goal. But while we're there, yeah, I really want our guys to be able to really see God moving, God working in some of the most unexpected places that you would imagine.
For sure. And then this being a great opportunity. One thing I love about the Fellows program, it's equipping and training for what's next. But whether it's a missionary or in the business world or music or whatever it is, they're going to have a pulpit. We all have a pulpit or a platform. And so to see how God's going to use this for their pulpit or platform, great. Well, man, thank you. Can't wait for this trip. It's going to be special. And so a lot more information to come each week. Stick with us, story all week. And thank you.